Max, I'm yelling at the TV again. I try to make really loud and bizarre noises when the show starts, just so that, like, if any of the neurotypicals are out there, any neurotypicals out there, yeah, that's for you, just so that you get weirded out and click off, because this is a neurodivergent only zone, and this is a safe space. So that's what I do in the morning. I try to freak out all the normal people, get them the hell out of here, because I don't like normal people. This show is not for normal people. This show is for the intelligent people out there. All three of them in the world. All 7. How many viewers do I have? All 16 of them in the goddamn world. Anyway, I got a show here today. I'm doing a program. I am sitting here today, actually. I don't know. Did anyone notice that I'm sitting? I'm sitting down. I was thinking about, like, doing, like, one of those, like, standing desk setups, and then, like, getting, like, one of those microphones. Maybe I could just hold this one, hold the microphone, and then just, like, start doing my shows while I'm standing, Would anyone want to watch that? Was that, like, anybody? Would anyone see that? Like, just me standing and then, like, being goofy? I don't know. Maybe that's a little too powerful. That may be a little too powerful. Maybe I got to keep myself contained here in this seat, in this chair. I'm a little sneezy this morning. I don't know. It literally just started. Like, I'm talking, like, like 5 minutes before right now. Anyway, we got a show here today. Got a program. I got myself 2 beverages. I got myself some water. I got some water, and I got myself some covfefe of the cold brew variety. And so we've got a program here today. I want to shout myself out. I have done it. I have created and crafted another so-called viral video. I had a video that is now at 18,000 views from last week. So, pat myself on the back there. Checking out that ad revenue every morning is keeping me going. So anyway, that's cool. Today I'm going to be talking about various subjects. I'm going to be talking about Islam, which I despise. And I'm going to be talking about Christianity, which I also despise. I'm going to be talking about young people, which I also despise. And I'm going to be talking about TikTok, which I also despise, and many more things. So we're going to be jumping in. I guess we'll jump into the COVID thing first. Get it out of the way, rip a Band-Aid off, like everyone's like, uh-oh, what does she have to say about COVID? Uh-oh! Uh-oh! That's what people are saying. They're screaming to themselves. Anyway, so we got some breaking news here. This is a shock. Shock. Like, no one would have ever seen this coming. Like, I love when, like, this kind of shit becomes news. I'm going to show you the headline in a second. I love when this becomes news because it's like, why is this news? There's nothing new about this. But anyway, when young children test positive for COVID-19 and another respiratory virus, their illness may be much more severe, a new study suggests. Like, can we put this in the category of, like, no fucking shit, jackass? Like, could you imagine someone reading this and going, like, whoa, when you're double infected with 2 viruses, it's actually worse. Like, whoa! Who would have fucking thunk? When you get infected with an immuno-compromising virus that lowers your immune system, and then another virus is gonna fuck you up even more. Whoa! It's almost like maybe we shouldn't have given 98% of our under 18s COVID, by the way, which is a fact that is CDC approved and it's on their website. Approximately 97% of kids, and by kids I mean under 18, 97% have been undergoing a mandatory medical experiment known as forcing themselves to get COVID. Actually, I shouldn't say they're forcing themselves because they're not. They're being forced by their parents to go to school, and they're being forced by the government to go to school because kids are property, kids are slaves, and they have no free will in this instance. They are forced to go to school and get COVID, which is a mandatory medical experiment. So we'll see how that plays out. But also, young kids under than 5 are also getting fucked pretty hard here. And let's read. Remember that meme and I call it a meme because it is a meme, but do you remember that meme of like kids are immune to COVID? Do you remember when Donald Trump was saying that shit? Like, and the kids, it just goes right through them. It doesn't even affect them. Remember that? Like, how many people out there do you think still think that COVID somehow like doesn't affect kids? Like, what? Like, I mean, seriously though, but in a country where 83% of the citizens in this country are anti-vaxxers, I mean, you know, we got a lot of dumb motherfuckers here. But seriously though, like, do you remember that shit? And the kids are seemingly immune. They're immune. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so that's a bunch of dumbass shit. You know, I say this again, you know, I'd rather die as a 5-year-old than die as a 20-something-year-old. Like, I don't, you know, I have a barely developed brain. You know, I'm not even really conscious. Like, how many memories do you have from when you were 5 years old? Like, maybe 10 memories, you know? So if I'm going to get killed by a deadly virus, I'd rather get killed as a 5-year-old. That's my opinion. Rather than being like a 16-year-old and be forced to go to school, get COVID, now you can't taste anything anymore. Like, I mean, like, come on now. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's read this. Let's keep going, aka let's start. When COVID-19 patients younger than 5 also test positive for another respiratory virus, they tend to become sicker and develop more severe disease, a new study suggests. Now, there's a word here that's bad here, another, which implies that COVID-19 is a respiratory virus, which it is not. It is a vascular disease that, again, it targets your respiratory system because how do you get the virus? How do you get infected? You go like this. And what happens, right, when you breathe, right, what you're breathing in goes into your fucking respiratory system. So that's why it starts out in the respiratory system. That doesn't necessarily make it a respiratory virus, though, I should say. There are viruses that get in the respiratory system and stay in the respiratory system. COVID-19 is not one of those viruses. That's not a thing. It goes all over the fucking place. Okay, so anyway, we found COVID in the brain, the heart. We found COVID in the toes. We found COVID. How is it in the toes? Because it's in the blood, right? It's all over the fucking body, right? So again, calling it a respiratory virus, you know, a little bit of medical disinformation. But hey, we're on CNN, right? We're on CNN Health. So, I mean, you know, get some medical disinformation from CNN just to calm the panic down a little bit. Among hospitalized children younger than 5, testing positive for both COVID-19 and another respiratory virus at the same time is associated with about twice the odds of severe respiratory illness. I mean, like, I'm serious though. Like, is this really a joke? Like, this is a joke, right? Like, this is a fucking joke. If you get 2 diseases at the same time, you are now dealing with double the amount of issues. Whoa! I mean, seriously though, like, are we really at this position where this is news? We need a study for that? We need a study to prove that when you get sick with 2 different viruses that it's actually worse than getting sick with just one? Like, but anyway, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. The study comes amid a harsh season of respiratory viruses, including RSV, flu, COVID-19, and other viruses that overwhelm children's hospitals. By the way, you see politicians, I'm talking about Democrats. You see Democrats, Republicans are a lost cause. You see Democrats talking about children's hospitals. Nah, Joe Biden's going on back to school, Jack. Everyone gonna get back to school. Fuck the children's hospitals. Back to school. That's our policy. Thank you, Joe Biden, for that one. The findings demonstrate the impact that respiratory viruses have on pediatric hospitals, and how continued surveillance of circulating COVID-19 and other illnesses can help predict future surges and hospitalizations, wrote the researchers from the U.S. Oh, wow, the CDC. And prevention. I love that. So we got Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I mean, can we talk about, like, this is like literally, I mean, again, hate to break it to you, but this is quite literally a 1984 scenario, right? Okay, you got Centers for Disease Control. They're not controlling anything. And prevention. They're doing the opposite of both of those things, right? They are making it so that it is extremely more transmissible. They are forcing higher transmission rates, and they're not controlling it in any way. In fact, they're letting it go all over the country in the form of airplanes, right? So again, control, prevention, I don't know. But let's keep going. Caring for young children with overlapping respiratory illnesses was something Genevieve Silva has experienced firsthand throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Quote, the height of illnesses was from September through mid-November when our household just could not catch a break. The mother of 8, Christ almighty, like, take a goddamn break after 8 kids? 8 fucking kids? Like, Jesus motherfucking Christ. You know, I mean, my God. Like, okay, I just want to say this much. Is it even possible to raise 8 kids with the amount of attention that each one would deserve? I'm just asking a genuine question. I don't know, maybe you got that, like, you know, big family solidarity where, like, the big siblings are also helping raise, you know, maybe you got that shit going on. But 8 kids, man, Jesus fucking Christ. Said that her toddler-age twin boys, quote, twin boys, so she got 8 kids and twin boys. Like, god damn, she is, like, spitting out 2, 3 at a time. This fucking goddamn, okay. Let's keep going. Where are we, actually? Okay. Toddler-age twin boys have been battered by viruses since they started preschool in May 2021. I love that, by the way. Born into the pandemic. Like, these motherfuckers never had a chance. They got born into a pandemic with stupid, shitty-ass parents. They're gonzo. They're gonzo. These twin boys, I mean, I feel fucking sorry for them. Could you imagine procreating during a pandemic? Like, I'm serious. Like, I mean, my God. Talk about dumb shit for brains, life decisions. Having a child during a fucking pandemic. I mean, that's up there. I mean, that's up there as far as, like, really stupid life decisions. Like, drinking and driving, pretty bad. But having a kid during a pandemic might be worse. All right, let's keep going. Last October, Silva's twins tested positive for COVID-19 and then developed what their pediatrician suspected was another respiratory viral infection. Again, with the word another. Possibly respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, around the same time. Quote, based on what the pediatrician told us, she said, I highly believe that they have these overlapping viruses, Silva said, adding that the boys' symptoms included shortness of breath, cough, fatigue, and fever, with one twin having a 105-degree fever for 4 days straight. Yo, that twin's brain has been cooked into nothing, man. Yo, we're talking about, like, a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. I don't know how, like, a 3-year-old maybe. You know, like... like, they got, I don't know, 105 degrees. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Holy shit, man. Warm baths and massaging Vicks Vapo Rub onto their backs and chest help ease the pain, but watching the boys battle these respiratory illnesses was brutal, Silva said. They had just looked so frail, they looked sick, like something deeper than just back-to-back viruses. Not back-to-back. Back-to-back is one and then the other. We're talking about back and back. Like, we're talking about back and front, motherfucker. Like, my God. It was hell. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, you know, it was hell. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, that's what I would assume hell meant. It was really bad. Quote, I can't be the only mom dealing with virus after virus. Now, this is what I'm saying, too. Right? Like, again, we've been forced, and we have been forced since, you know, there's an argument to be made that the 1918 Spanish influenza never ended. We just stopped caring about it. I mean, we're talking about 40,000 deaths every year from the flu. For decades. For decades. Was that not a pandemic? I mean, seriously! Like, come on! Like, this COVID's a pandemic, but the flu is not. I mean, okay, sure. Fine. Whatever. But again, we're all forced to participate in this, like, dumb reality game show bullshit where we all, like, forget that, like, you know, we've made thousands of years of scientific advancement. We all forget that there's been thousands of years of medical advancement. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. You would think we had learned something between the 1918 fucking quote-unquote Spanish influenza pandemic. Again, Spanish is an interesting way to describe a disease that came out of fucking Kansas. You know? Isn't that also crazy? Isn't that fucking... Okay, so we got a disease that starts out in Kansas. What do we call it? The Spanish fucking flu. I mean, you want to talk about the least Spanish thing in the world. Kansas, okay, motherfucker? Jesus goddamn Christ. But anyway, let's keep going. Ever since October, when they had the overlapping illnesses, the doctor has now said it seems like they might have triggered asthma in them. Oh, great! Great! Asthma induced from COVID-19, but I thought kids were immune. I thought they were immune. What the hell happened, Donald? OJM, the Orange J Man. What happened? I thought the kids were immune. What the fuck? You're telling me the president lied? Joe Biden said it was safe to go back to school. You're telling me the presidents of this country lied to us? Whoa! Holy fucking moly. Quote, I can't be the only mom dealing with the virus, she said, adding that for other parents out there, she has a message of hope. Be patient. Listen to your doctor. Okay. The new study included data on 4,372 children who were hospitalized with COVID-19. Among those who were tested for other respiratory viruses, 21% had a co-detection, meaning another respiratory virus was detected in their test results. I mean, like, I know Americans are dumb, but do we really need that? Like, co-detection is too hard to understand. Like, I mean, come on. Okay. The data came from, great, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's COVID-19 hospitalization surveillance network called COVIDnet. With the COVIDnet, they got a surveillance network. They're sitting back and assessing. Are they going to control anything? Well, that remains to be seen. Are they going to prevent anything? Well, I don't know about that one, Jack. But they are going to surveil the situation. The researchers noted that they focused on co-detection, not co-infection, since testing wouldn't necessarily show that a child was actively infected with both viruses just because they test positive. Overall, quote, this study found that respiratory virus co-detections were rare in the first year of the pandemic. RSV and rhinovirus, or enterovirus co-detection increased during the Delta predominant period, and influenza co-detections were infrequent throughout the first 2 years of the pandemic, the researchers wrote in the study. Wait, so you're telling me it's getting worse? What? What? You're telling me it's actually getting worse? You're telling me that years of doing nothing to combat COVID has made it the situation even worse for everybody involved? Whoa. Whoa. It's almost like we should have done something about this years ago before this happened. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some stupid high school dropout, right? You know, whatever. I'm not as smart as Joe Biden and Kamala didn't see Delta coming. Harris had no idea. They had no idea that there were going to be variants, right? Right? You know. Woo! All right. Specifically for children younger than 2, testing positive for respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, while having COVID-19 was significantly associated with severe illness. You know what happens when you get severe illness also, by the way? You die. You fucking die. That's what happens. Now, sometimes you don't. It's possible. But a lot of the time when people get severely ill, they fucking die, right? Their body cooks itself, and then they blow the fuck up inside, and then they turn into a fucking, you know, decomposing corpse. Like, you know, that's what happens when you get fucking sick. They kill that shit, okay? More research is needed on the precise impact. I mean, do we really need to know what the fucking precise impact of COVID-19 and RSV is to prevent it? Can we just fucking prevent it? Can we just fucking stop the pandemic? Can we just fucking do a quarantine, for Christ's sake? Can we stop sending kids to these fucking goddamn COVID facilities? Can we stop forcing them to get sick over and over? Like, is it possible? Is it possible? Do we really need to be studying the impact? Can't we just fucking put all that money into, I don't know, food delivery? Can we put all that money into, I don't know, pharmaceutical delivery, rent relief? You know, can we do something about this? Can we maybe quarantine, you know, maybe stay home from work? Does anyone really need to be working at Wendy's during a pandemic? Let's be honest. Do Americans really need their Wendy's right now? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Our society is fucking broken. It's broken. It's fucking broken. Anyway, you can read more of this. The pandemic taught us how contagious these viruses are. No, it didn't. If you didn't know that fucking deadly viruses are fucking contagious as shit before the pandemic, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be a fucking epidemiologist. You shouldn't be at the CDC. Jesus fucking Christ. But anyway, so there's your COVID update. Turns out kids are actually not immune. Turns out they're getting fucked pretty hard. And are their parents going to do anything? No. Is the government going to do anything? No. Are schools going to do anything? No. Is the CDC going to do anything? No. Are corporations going to do anything? No. Are other countries going to do anything? No. Is the WHO going to do anything? No. Is anyone going to do anything? No. Is Joe Biden going to do anything? No. Is Ron DeSantis, who when he wins in 2025, going to do anything? No. No one's going to do anything. So I say, you're on your own, Jack. Have fun. Year 4, baby. Live it up for year 4 of the fucking pandemic. You know, I'm doing that SpongeBob reference. You know that shit? We're in year fucking 4. Year fucking 4. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has not even tried to prevent or control any of this shit. 4 years in. 4 years in. They've done nothing. Nothing. They've done nothing at all. So anyway, there's your COVID update. We got a $10 super chat. When are we gonna get the hyper chats? Is that a thing? $9.99 from FunP. Can we get Courtney call in or appearance on the show? I gotta hear this angel. Whoa. And can my kitty Jessie enjoying your show get a quick clip on your show? Yes, I deserve to be berated for asking. Well, first of all, go fuck yourself, FunP. Second of all, maybe, I don't know. You got to give me a clip, like post a clip on Twitter or something, and I'll show it. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, seriously though, like I've said this before, but I have entered my cynical nihilism phase. Like, I'm here, I'm ready. If that's not something you're interested, get the fuck out. But I am a cynic. I am a nihilist. I don't think the world's going to work out. I think society is going to collapse, and I'm going to enjoy the show wherever I can, okay? So that's where we're at right now for me. For me, I'm going to enjoy this program. And speaking of enjoying the program, a theme for today's show is I want to talk about really... Well, it is the first 8 to 15 seconds, so shall I say, really colorful and interesting characters. I was watching cable news. Just kidding, by the way. I don't have a cable news subscription. I'm under the age of 80. But I was looking on Twitter.com, and I saw this clip of a cable news program called The Tucker Carlson Show talking about smoking at the Capitol. So it turns out the House Republicans have made it so that you're allowed to smoke in Congress. Well, anyway, I mean, I thought this was pretty good. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did think it was pretty good. And so, let's check this out.
Now, you'd think this would be non-controversial in a country where you're allowed to smoke meth in a park. Kids...
Okay, yeah. So, all right, we're 7 seconds into this clip. Now, I might be a little late on this one. I'll be honest, okay? I don't keep up with the news as much as Tucker. But did they legalize meth? Like, I missed the memo. Meth is legal? Like, since when has meth been legal in this country? What is this guy talking about? But again, this is the quote-unquote largest cable news show in the world, or at least in the country, I should say. Like... And this guy is talking about meth being legal, apparently. Like, if meth was legal, like, can I go to the park and try it? Like, where do I get the meth? If it's so legal, you're allowed. He said you're allowed to smoke meth in a park. Are you? Really? Okay, let's keep going.
Now, you'd think this would be non-controversial in a country where you're allowed to smoke meth in a park. Kids are encouraged to smoke weed.
Kids are encouraged to smoke weed. Now, maybe, I'm open to the idea that, maybe certain kinds of drugs could be interesting for kids, but you know what? That's not the law. In the same way that, like, you know what? If a 14-year-old wants to try a sip of wine at the dinner table and everyone in the family is consenting to that and they think it's a good time, you know what? I'm open to it. I'm open to that idea. But the country... the country where marijuana is federally illegal and meth is federally illegal, and that there are people in prison for smoking weed, the country that country is telling kids to smoke weed. What? Like, I'm just like, what? But we're only 9 seconds into this 3-minute clip, so let's keep going.
But it's very controversial because unlike meth and weed and crack, tobacco is bad.
Whoa, hold on. So did he just throw in there that crack is also legal? Like, again, like, whoa, like, this is breaking news to me. I mean, I guess this is a news show, because now I'm learning something. Apparently meth and crack are federally legal. I didn't know that. So I guess, you know what? I did facetiously call this a news show before, but I guess it is a news show. I'm learning something. We all just learned that meth and crack are federally legal. So I guess I'm going to go to the nearest police station and smoke a bowl, right? Like, it's legal now. I saw it on Tucker Carlson's show, you know?
Several members of the Capitol Press Gallery are horrified by this, and they're complaining. So you have to kind of wonder, why is tobacco so dangerous? Well, we thought we would ask a member of Congress.
So, okay, I just want to say this. Did you know, by the way, it's illegal to run advertisements for tobacco, cigarettes, and so forth? That's illegal. You're not allowed to advertise cigarettes on the television. That's against the law. So, I just wanted to bring that up here because is this anything other than an advertisement? Like, think about it. Like, look at this fucking, like, artwork. We got this sexy ass fucking, like, you know, yeah, you know, making you horny. She's smoking. It's black and white, but you got the red lipstick. Oh, God, I'm watching this show. I'm horny as fuck right now for cigarettes, baby. Is this anything other than a tobacco company ad? Like, seriously, like, what is this? I mean, what are we watching right now? Oh my God. Like, okay, let's keep going though. So like, we're about, like, this is just the prologue. Let's get good. It's about to get good. Let's go.
Tobacco so dangerous? Well, we thought we would ask a member of Congress who uses it, who smokes an occasional cigar. Troy Nels joins us tonight. Congressman, grateful.
Okay, I just want to say this. When are we going to get an interview with someone that casually, every once in a while, smokes some meth? Can we get that guy on Tucker Carlson's show? Can we get the guy who's, like, you know, smoking weed on Tucker Carlson's show? What is... Whoa! And look at this guy. Look at this freak of nature. Look at this guy. He's packed his fucking, like, dumbass, like, shirt pocket with cigars. Like, you can tell that they're jammed the fuck in there. They're gonna fall apart any minute now. Like, the only value a cigar has is that you can rip out all the tobacco and put actual good drugs in there. That's the only value a cigar would ever have. But anyway, let's look at what this fucking goddamn Neanderthal abortion survivor, because that's really what it is. This guy is an abortion survivor. I mean, just look at him. But anyway, let's keep going.
That you're here, willing to stand up for the most American of all pleasures, which is tobacco. Sorry to...
The most American of all pleasures, and willing to stand up. Whoa, we're standing up.
Say it. It's true. It founded the country.
Whoa! Okay, so just real quick, okay? So hold the phone, okay? If you got a cell phone or if you got a landline, hold the phone for a second. Just keep it in your hands. Okay, so I'm holding the phone here, okay? Hold the fucking phone. Tobacco founded the country? Really? Can you tell me more?
All pleasures, which is tobacco. Sorry to say it. It's true. It founded the country.
Can you tell me more about that? The tobacco farms of the 18th century? Or is that banned from the curriculum? Is that CRT? Is that critical race theory to learn about how tobacco is so uniquely American?
Tell us why it's important for you to burn a cigar occasionally in your office.
Well, thank you for having me, Tucker. It's all about freedom. It's interesting that this...
Okay, so on the same news segment where they're talking about how meth, weed, and crack are legal and that's bad, which, by the way, is the exact opposite of the real world. Meth, crack, and weed are illegal, and they should be legal. If it's about freedom... This guy is going on here. Rule number 1, freedom. So where's the fucking meth parks? Right? Like, if it's about freedom, where's the crack parks?
Honest media and those, they want to complain about a little smoke coming out of my cigar. They don't want to talk about the inflation or the crime or the southern border.
The southern border. What is with these fucking freaks of nature? The fuffs, everybody. The fucked up freaks. And the southern border. The southern border. No one wants to talk about it. Motherfuckers, you won't shut the fuck up about the southern border. What do you mean nobody wants to talk about it? We're constantly inundated with your low IQ Neanderthal like screeching about the fucking southern border, and you're gonna have the gall to tell us that no one's talking about it?
And people have been enjoying cigars. Nations leaders, world leaders, from Winston Churchill to United States presidents, from Andrew Jackson to Theodore Roosevelt, Nixon,
I can think of a couple of other world leaders that are known for enjoying cigars. I don't know, maybe Mr. Fidel Castro comes to mind. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there, world leaders, and Andrew Jackson, known world leader. How many people in the world even know who this fucking guy is, Andrew Jackson? Some old-ass genocidal slave owner piece of shit? Well, guess what? He smoked a cigar once, so he's in there.
AFK, they like smoking their cigars. We even know that Bill Clinton, he enjoyed a good cigar every once in a while. So,
whoa, Billy Boy. Billy Boy also enjoyed a cigar. Ooh. Like, is that supposed to be like a hypocrisy thing? Like, I don't even know. What is this? Okay, let's go.
So I don't know what all the hoopla is all about. You're right. In 2007, under Pelosi, she said you cannot smoke cigars in the Capitol building, i.e. you can't smoke cigars on the House floor or in committee hearings. But it did not include members' offices. So a member's house office, we've always been able to smoke cigars. There are many of us in the cigar caucus, about 30 of us, that enjoy a good cigar in our office.
The cigar caucus, yo. Like, can I sign up for the cigar caucus? How about this? I got a new idea. Since crack is legal now, according to Tucker Carlson, can we start up the crack caucus? Can we start that up? Next time anyone wants to go to congressman, I saw it on Tucker's show. Crack's legal now. I can go to the park and smoke crack. Let's start the fucking cocaine caucus. Maybe that's more up their alley.
And we do so. Nancy Pelosi, for 2 years, I've been smoking cigars. Nobody complains about it. But now they want to come after us because we're in the majority. This is typical from the left. They want to infringe on our rights. They want to.
Now, let's have an honest conversation. Let's be real about this. Let's drop the facade of the jokes. The problem with cigar smoke is that it's extremely toxic. When you smoke a cigar, everybody in the room is smoking a cigar. Therefore, it is a violation of their consent. Unlike if you drink whiskey, that is not a violation of other people's consent in the same way, because when you drink whiskey, they are not also inhaling toxic carcinogens. In the same way that I don't think you should be able to smoke crack in a building, or meth in a building in a public space, for the same reason I don't think you should smoke anything. I'm even going to say this. You shouldn't smoke weed in a public space. But that's the thing. Like, we have like things like vaporizers that don't really have that issue, right? We have things like edibles, when it comes to good drugs like marijuana, that don't have that issue, right? So again, if we're talking about freedom, because we all love freedom, I love freedom. I want to legalize all drugs. I am more freedom inclusive than these people. But if you want to talking about freedom, shouldn't people have the freedom to not smoke? Because when you're smoking around other people, they are also smoking. They're not getting any of the good stuff, like is there any good part about smoking a cigar? Like, does that feel good? I don't know. I've never done it because I have an IQ above 6. But, like, they're just getting the toxic part. Isn't that a violation of freedom? Just think about it. But anyway, let's keep going.
Complain about our smoke. They're probably complaining about maybe my aftershave or the color of my tie. It doesn't end.
Now, first of all, this guy noticeably not wearing a tie. So I am actually going to complain about that. The color of your tie being, like, what is it, X-ray? Is that the color of your tie? I mean, honestly, though, that's a pretty cool color for a tie. I wish I had an X-ray colored tie. But anyway, what? Aftershave? Motherfucker, no one cares about your aftershave. And the idea that sniffing someone's gross Axe body spray is the same as breathing in carcinogenic, cancer-causing chemicals is hilarious to me. What the fuck? What the fuck?
But if you were smoking weed or meth, no one would say anything. What is it about tobacco?
Okay. What is this? Like, at least weed, okay? Weed has been legalized in like half the states in this country. Now, it's not legal federally. And also, if someone did smoke a joint in Congress, people would complain, 100% chance. But then let's go back to meth. What?
Weed or meth, no one would say anything. What?
So you're telling me if someone waltzed into the budget committee hearing with a fucking bowl of meth and started lighting up the meth live on C-SPAN, no one would say anything? Like, I'm serious. People watch this guy and they think he's smart. That's the thing about this. You wonder why Americans are the dumbest population throughout the entirety of history? Okay? This. You're allowed to smoke meth in Nancy Pelosi's Congress? Do we have any videos of this? I'm does anyone actually believe? I know no one actually believes it, right? It's all just trolling. It's just, all of it is trolling, right? But does anyone actually believe that you could actually go to Congress and smoke meth and no one would say anything at all to you at all in any way? Like live on C-SPAN, you're just like getting blitzed on meth live at the fucking like space and technology committee hearing. Like, I mean, what? What?
What is it about tobacco, which was a religious sacrament for the American Indians, for all the Mesoamerican Indians? What is it about tobacco that triggers them so profoundly, do you think?
This idea that, like, this is a genuine inquiry, right? Like, we just don't know. Like, the last 70 years of medical research on tobacco smoke, Tucker's not read a single bit. Like, he just doesn't know, but he does know. That's the thing. He does know, and he lies on purpose. That's the whole game. It's all a lie on purpose. Like really, like the jury is in on tobacco, okay? The jury is in. We know what the problems are. Now, you can say, you know, I know the risk associated, and I still think, you know, it's more freedom loving to be able to enjoy my cigar even if other people have to suffer. You can make that argument. It's a bad argument, but you could make it. But the idea that we don't know what tobacco smoke does, like, we just don't know. We have no idea. What?
I don't know. Maybe they've never tried one, but you look at a nice Ashton cigar, it's a...
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He has no idea. These people, they don't know. They don't know. That's like saying, like, oh, I had no idea that drinking vodka every day causes liver damage. I didn't know. Really? You didn't know? No one told you? Like, what? How the fuck are you alive in the year 2023 and you don't know what the negative health impacts of tobacco smoke are? Well, that's the thing. They do know. They're just lying. Like, it's a trolling game. They're just trolling America. That's all this shit is. This is 4chan, like, 15-year-old who signed into an anonymous message board on the internet level, like, trolling. That's what this is. I don't know what tobacco even is, man. Shit. What? And now he's doing product placement. Now, again, okay, Ashton Cigars. Tell me. Okay, tell me. Again, advertising for tobacco companies is illegal on television. It is illegal. Now, how did it get illegal? Because we studied tobacco smoke, and then Congress and the president signed and passed a law that said you're not allowed to advertise it on television. Right? Like, how else would advertising cigarettes and cigars on television become illegal, other than the fact that Congress looked into it? But now all of a sudden Congress has no idea. Also, again, this is just a tobacco commercial, and this is an Ashton cigar commercial. Can we sue these guys? Like, can we sue these guys? Like, I'm sure Ashton Cigars has paid this guy. I'm sure he's in the pocket of Big Ashton, right? But, like, seriously though, this is a violation of the law. This is an illegal broadcast. And again, you can say that that's a bad law, which honestly, I agree. I think we should allow advertising of tobacco on television. I'd love to see what kind of advertisements they come up with. We allow Coca-Cola on television. Coca-Cola is worse for you than cigarettes factually, objectively, but that's allowed on television. We allow selling fucking Budweiser on television, so I say why not? Let's allow tobacco on television. That said, it is illegal. I'm just saying what the law is. Law and order, right? It is illegal. But anyway, let's keep going.
I don't know. Maybe they've never tried one, but you look at a nice Ashton cigar. It's a beautiful cigar. It's mild, arterial.
Let me hold it up. Hold up. Let me get my prop. This is my pen. Imagine this is a cigar. This is not a commercial. This is not a commercial. Ashton cigars, not a commercial. Not a commercial whatsoever. I don't even know what Ashton cigars are. This is not a commercial. I'm not doing an advertisement for Ashton cigars, but, I do love Ashton cigars, but this is not a commercial. And, the boys over at the Cigar Caucus, we're going to be smoking Ashton cigars, everybody. Ashton cigars, everybody. And look at Tucker Carlson. He knows what he's doing. Look at this fucking little cocksucker. Look at this little fucking cum-guzzling face. Anyway, everybody, Ashton cigars, not a commercial. No sponsorship whatsoever. Ashton cigars. Like, what the fuck?
Fuento. It's a great cigar. Try one.
Oh my God, yo! This is...
Oh, I have. Congressman Troy now.
It's not a commercial, though. That's not illegal. It's not a commercial.
Striking a blow for freedom. That is the smell of freedom. We appreciate your coming on tonight.
Now, can I do meth on Fox News? Am I allowed to do meth on Fox News? Can I do fucking crack? Can Tucker Carlson invite me on the show? I've never tried crack before, but I will go and find crack if Tucker Carlson will let me on the Tucker Carlson show. I'm going to do some motherfucking crack live on television. Never done it before. We'll see how it goes. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? By the way, Ashton cigars, don't even know what they are. They never gave me money. This is not a commercial, but, Alright, like, what the fuck, man? Seriously, I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Again, Republicans are not even real people. They're Neanderthals. They're subhuman. They're not evolved, right? If you look at the theory of evolution by Charles Darwin, you would find out Republicans, they're lesser evolved creatures. They're the missing link. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being a little jokey here, but I also, can we talk about, speaking about complaining about the color of your tie, what the fuck is going on here, by the way? Like, he's wearing the ANCAP fucking colors. Look at this. Anarcho-capitalist Tucker Carlson anti-meth. Like, what the fuck? Talk about freedom. Oh, my God, man. Ugh, so stupid. So while we're talking about, once again, as we are in the first 8 to 15 seconds of this segment, I'm going to say very intelligent, curious, and entertaining, as well as philosophical individuals. That's right. Today I'm going to be talking about, this one's a little old, but I didn't see it when it came out. And, I made a video the other day about the Feminems, and I'm not talking about estradiol. I'm talking about the feminist M&Ms. And apparently this is a big outrage. I guess I missed it when it happened, but this is about a week old. This is Ben Shapiro, everybody. The cool kids philosopher Ben Shapiro is talking about the all-women M&M lineup. Now, what are M&Ms? Let's get a recap. No, we're not talking about the rapper. We're talking about the candy wrapper here in this instance, okay? So M&Ms are a candy, and on their wrapper, they have the candy, but they have arms and legs. I know, it's a little weird, right? You don't, we're trying to humanize the candy, but I'm eating you, I'm consuming you. Isn't that weird to, humanize that? A little weird, right? But okay, whatever, fine. And so they got arms and legs, and so some of them, I guess really the gender marker is the voice actor, I guess, right? How else would you tell that an M&M is male or female? Now, again, we look at the original M&M lineup way back, we're talking 80 years ago, and they're all non-binary, okay? They're all they're just creatures, you don't they just have a smiling face or whatever, and that's it. But anyway, okay, so there's apparently M&Ms, and they have an all-woman wrapper edition. Now, first of all, How the fuck is Ben Shapiro finding this stuff out? Like, is he going to the candy store? Or, ooh, there's a new version of M&M's, and he looks at it. It's like, where's the men? Where's the men? Like, really? You're a grown adult eating M&M's, and you're triggered by the fucking packaging? Now, I'm triggered by the packaging, too, I will say, right? For example, when it says share size, when you know you're not going to share that shit, let's be honest. Come on now. That triggers me. But hey, I'm not going to make a video about the share size. The fun size, maybe, that's fine. I have fun when I eat the fun size. Yeah, I'm having fun. But anyway, so a grown adult male is triggered by candy wrappers. This is what we're talking about. Like, again, right-wingers are desperate. They are desperate. Are they going to talk about inequality? No. Are they going to talk about how the government is killing people when it comes to, war? No. Are they going to talk about how the government does experiments on people medicinally? No. They're going to make up a bunch of shit about that and talk about something that doesn't exist. Are they going to talk about how the government's stealing our tax dollars and giving it to corporations? No. But they are going to talk about candy wrappers. Candy wrappers. Because that is an important detail in our world. But are we going to talk about candy wrappers and how they market themselves to children even though they're literally drugs? Fructose, also known as fructose, is as dangerous for you as alcohol, and yet we market candy to children. Is that what we're going to be angry about? That we're marketing drugs to kids? Drugs in the form of sugar being fructose in this instance, which is extremely deadly. It causes liver fat accumulation. It leads to diabetes and it leads to death. It's as dangerous as alcohol, but it's marketed to kids. Are we going to talk about that? Mountain Dew marketed to teenagers, even though it has caffeine, which is a highly addictive substance. Now, I'm down. Let's talk about that. But no, we're going to talk about how M&M's released a limited edition feminized version. I don't even know. Let's keep going.
I was getting afraid there. I'm glad that at least some of these M&M's will have nuts to represent the transgender community. So you have to ensure that some of the M&M's are actual trans women. We wouldn't want these to be cisgender M&M's. So good news, some of the female M&Ms will in fact have nuts. The move is the latest in a series of marketing moves M&M's has made to promote inclusivity.
They're obsessed. Like, no one's talking about transgender people, but they're obsessed. Now, I'm interested to see what Ben Shapiro's browsing history has to offer for us. But did M&M's create a transgender candy wrapper? Can we also talk about why are we giving candy genders? Like, I mean, what are we, like, are we the Spanish language? Like, is the chair a female? Like, why are we giving candy this gendered fucking terminology anyway? Who cares? But anyway, let's keep going.
Its previous announcements involved the introduction of the purple female M&M, who represents body positivity and self-acceptance. Well, I'm sure M&M would love people to accept body positivity because you eat enough of them and you get fat. That is what they are. They are a candy.
So I would agree, actually. That's actually a good point. But I would go further. It's not a candy. It's a drug. It's like meth. It's like weed. It's like vodka. It's like crack. It's a drug. Sugar is a processed, refined drug. It is a drug. Candy sounds innocent, sounds harmless. Drugs sound dangerous. M&Ms are drugs. They are pills that have psychoactive substances that cause liver fat accumulation, diabetes, and death. They are drugs. Now, again, if you want to have a drug in moderation every once in a while, fine. I drink wine now and then. I smoke some marijuana. Well, I don't smoke, I try not to smoke, but, we use smoke as a euphemism. What do I say? I do marijuana? Yeah, that's right. I'm doing marijuana. I don't know. I sound like a teenager when I say that. But anyway, so I'm all down with consuming drugs in informed, educated moderation. That said, right? Like, again, thank you for restating that this is a candy that is marketed to children, adult, known as Ben Shapiro.
Early in 2022, Mars announced it would alter its mascots to reflect the more dynamic, progressive world we live in, saying the refreshed M&M's brand will include a more modern take on the looks of our beloved characters. So that's exciting. Mars Wrigley North America Chief Marketing Officer Gabrielle Wesley explained the move. Quote, women all over the world are flipping how they define success and happiness while challenging the status quo. So we are thrilled to be able to recognize and celebrate them. And who better to help us on that mission than our own powerhouse?
Now, again, let's be honest, okay? Like when I do a new show every day, right? So I know what Ben Shapiro is doing here. This is called You Don't Feel Like Looking Into Anything. You know, I don't want to read 30 articles every morning and come up with the best ones to talk about. I get it. Sometimes this is called filler. You know, if you're an anime fan, you remember that episode where Goku learns to drive? This is called filler. It is the easiest thing in the world to read like a corporate press briefing and say, aha, but this is silly. Like, this is not news. This is not politics. This is not commentary. This is just, I don't even know what this is. This is meeting a quota. This is lazy. Hey, I've been there.
Spokes candies, green, brown, and purple. Ah, so moving. So incredible.
Now, real quick, by the way, while we're talking about transgender M&Ms, the brown M&M was actually a man in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. They were changed to a woman. The brown M&M is transgender. That's a fact. So, hey, I'm just throwing that out there.
So unbelievably stupid. So, women, do you feel represented now because of the green, purple, and brown M&Ms on the M&M?
So, I'm assuming that Ben Shapiro is talking to me because I don't think that there's any other woman that Ben Shapiro would possibly, like, there's no women that watch this guy, let's be honest, right? Like, Ben Shapiro's target audience is like 14-year-old boys. So, like, there's no women here that he's talking to. But you know what? Yeah, I do feel represented. Yeah, sure, whatever. Who cares? It's fucking candy. I'm not eating candy because I'm an adult. Like, what the fuck?
Package that you're guzzling down lonely in your apartment with your wine and your cat?
What?
How's that?
Wait, what? What?
So, women, do you feel represented now because of the green, purple, and brown M&Ms on the M&M package that you're guzzling down lonely in your apartment with your wine and your cat? How's that?
So, okay, at first I thought he would theoretically be talking to, like, the anti-woke patriots that happen to be women in the audience. But then he's, like, yelling at liberals, I guess, that aren't watching his show. Who is he talking to? Who is he talking to here? I'm just curious. At first I thought he was talking to, like, the hypothetical woman viewer that doesn't exist. But now I guess he's talking to just anyone who watches. I don't, what? Like, and also, why do they have to be in an apartment? Like, why wine? Like, I don't know. And what kind of fucking, like, I'm serious. What kind of adult consumes wine and M&Ms in the same evening? I don't know. Like, has Ben Shapiro ever met a woman? Like, I'm serious. Like, what? And what's having cats is wrong now? I don't even know what this is. I'm going to be honest, but let's keep going.
How's that going for you? Amazing. But
look at okay, real quick. Look, I want to, here, let me get, like, look at this. Like, you can see the smile forming. Like, this is like when, like, a 7-year-old, you know, like, they, you know, you get, like, you have those alphabet letters on the refrigerator, the magnets, right? Alphabet letters. Can you believe that I said that? Anyway, and then, like, the 7-year-old, like, they rearrange the letters to write poop on the refrigerator, right? And then while their parents are cooking breakfast, and then they're just sitting in the corner going like, and then eventually, like, you know, one of the parents goes into the fridge and they see the poop, and then they go, oh, little Timmy did it again. Like, look at this, like, and, like, look at the way he shakes his head, like he's literally, I'm talking, like, this is, I no wonder he's talking about M&Ms. He's obsessed. He hasn't grown out of, like, the toddler phase. We're talking about, like, a 7-year-old here. A 7-year-old here. Okay, let's go.
how's that going for you? Amazing. But at least you feel represented. That's the important thing. Honestly, I'm mostly just happy because if it's an all-female
right,
M&M,
he's mostly just happy. Mostly. You can tell by this 90 seconds that we've watched that he's very happy. Let's find out why he's happy.
I assume that it costs 77 cents on the dollar of what the regular M&Ms would cost, right? That's how this works. Also, do not ask the female M&Ms for directions. It's just not going to go particularly well. Corporate America, man.
Okay. Don't ask the female M&Ms for directions. Has this guy ever heard of cell phones? Like, what year is this? Like, did I just get, like, flashed back to, like, 1973? Don't ask the female M&Ms for directions? There's no way he just said that. Like, I mean...
That's how this works. Also, do not ask the female M&Ms for directions. It's just...
Is he, like, reading that joke off the laptop here? Like, look at him. Look at his eyeballs.
Also, do not ask the...
Like, you can see, like, and he's stuttering because he's, like, trying to find the line that he was at on the lap. Is he reading... Did he, like, write this joke down? I mean, if you can even call it a joke, right? I mean, but did he write this down and then go, like... Oh, where is that one? Oh, there it is. Okay, there, I found. Like, oh, that is funny.
Female M&Ms for directions. It's just not going to go particularly well.
He's reading that off the laptop. Like, he wrote that down. I'm sure, like, his whole team looked at it. Nailed it. Like, what? I'm sorry. What? Like, again, I'm sorry, but what?
That's how this works. Also, do not ask the female M&Ms for directions. It's just not going to go particularly well. Corporate America, man, filled with more...
So, anyway, that's the status of right-wing television programs. I guess it's not a television program, but Jesus fucking Christ. My God. Oh. I'm a professional passenger. Damn right. It's a critical role. My goodness. All right, let's continue the train. Trump train! Choo-choo! Everybody, that's right. Orange J-Man is at it again. Sending another, salvo is one word we could use, onto the Ron DeSantis team. Let's watch. He was on the water cooler with David Brody. I don't even know what that is, but he was on the water cooler. Let's watch.
Those rallies were unbelievable, and he ended up beating Gillum. And most people thought he couldn't do that, but I thought he could. So I got him elected, pure and simple. He would have never... If I said I wasn't going to endorse you, and I was close, there was no reason to go wild about endorsing him. So, now I hear he might want to run against me, so we'll handle that the way I handle things.
Yeah, so
now I hear he might want to run against me, so we'll handle that the way I handle things.
Yeah.
Now, I've said this before, and I'm willing to put money on it. Ron DeSantis, if he runs for president, it's over for him. It's over for him if he runs for president. Donald Trump, you don't think Donald Trump has blackmail on Ron DeSantis? You don't think Donald Trump can out-alpha Ron DeSantis? I mean, you saw Ron DeSantis during that debate with, like, I don't even know what to call that guy who was debating. Like, we're talking, like, the most boring motherfucker who's ever been born on planet Earth. Like, I don't even know his name. But, like, that guy won the debate, and he asked Ron DeSantis many questions, and Ron was just like, and he couldn't answer. It was like a deer in headlights, right? He cannot debate. He doesn't know how to debate. Ron DeSantis is a fucking loser, right? So, you're telling me Ron DeSantis is going to debate Donald Trump and win? And win in a debate with Donald Trump. I mean, you got to be smoking crack or meth, which I heard on Tucker Carlson's show is now legal. Apparently, according to Tucker Carlson, we can go to we can go to the park and smoke meth in this country, and cops aren't going to do anything. But anyway, so, you know, but also think about the logic. Why on earth would Ron DeSantis run for president in 2024? Like, Donald Trump's heart is a ticking time bomb. This guy is going to suffer from cardiac arrest any minute now. Right? This guy might not even make it to 2025. Right? So Ron DeSantis is young. Right? And he's also serving a term as governor of Florida. You know what I mean? Like, think out the logic tree. Like, if Ron DeSantis, like, all of the Ron DeSantis hype, in my opinion, is corporate mainstream media trash. Anyone that likes Ron DeSantis is a zombie who has been manipulated by Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, corporatized mainstream media. And I'm talking to Republicans. Trump is the guy for Republicans. Ron DeSantis is a loser. Ron DeSantis is a freak. He's a loser. He's a scrawny little shit for brains, and he's being propped up by the media because they don't like Trump. The minute if Ron DeSantis is dumb enough to jump into this primary, the minute there is a debate, he is going to get fucking destroyed. He is going to get fucking destroyed. So it would make more sense. Wait until Donald Trump loses the next election and dies, which will definitely happen before 2027, and run after you serve your full term as governor. We're talking about basic strategy. There is no reason for Ron DeSantis to run against Donald Trump. None. Anyone who thinks that he would is dumb. And if Ron DeSantis actually gets manipulated into resigning from his office in Florida to run for fucking president against Donald Trump, I'm serious, man. We're talking about some dumb motherfuckers. But hey, it's possible Ron DeSantis would do that. But, you know, anyway, it's getting fun. I would say that this is a salvo. This is a salvo in the direction of Ron DeSantis. Donald Trump is, I'd say it's a threat. A little bit. A little bit of a threat. Just, a little fun one. How's everyone doing today? Is this a good show? Is this entertaining? Is it entertaining? What's going on here? What's fucking going on here? What the hell? Reel On, member for 4 months. Good shoe. Love shoes. Glam Girl Adel. Awesome show. Holy fucking moly. Holy friggin' moly. I'm thinking, like, maybe I'll save a couple of these for tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out, like, I feel like I only want to do one more news story, but I'm not sure which one I want to do. So maybe I'll talk about the Muslim shit tomorrow. Goddamn Bobbert. Boberto Carmodo. Welcome to Cool. Did I see the West Virginia trans bill? Yeah. I don't want to do banger overload. Well, it's more so like, I don't want to throw the energy out quite yet. But yeah. Free Google survey money? Hell yes. I'm in. All right. Let's talk about fish. Do you eat fish? Do you ever go fishing? A boy and a father go out on a boat on a lake and catch and eat some nice fish. Well, if you do that, you are, and I'm sorry, dumber than dog shit. Because a new study has come out showing that fish from U.S. lakes and rivers are awful. They're awful. They're awful. Eating one fish from U.S. lakes or rivers likened to drinking months' worth of contaminated water. So everyone say thank you to corporate America for this one. Corporate America said, I will not be told by the government to dump my toxins in any other place besides the rivers. And now, everything is contaminated. Everything is contaminated. It's over. It's done. We got PFAS all over the fucking place. So, I'm just saying, if you are eating freshly caught fish, the freshly caught aspect does not mean it's good for you. In fact, it's horrible for you. It's horrible. Eating one freshwater fish caught in a river or lake in the United States is the equivalent of drinking a month's worth of water contaminated with toxic forever chemicals. Now, hey, if you want to poison yourself, that's fine. Feel free. But I would think twice before eating freshly caught fish. The invisible chemicals called PFAS were first developed in the 1940s to resist water and heat. And they're now used in items such as non-stick pans. If you have a non-stick pan, throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage. Never buy non-stick pans. Never buy them. Throw them in the trash. Textiles, fire suppression foams, and food packaging. Food packaging, huge problem. Fire suppression foams, that's one of the best arguments in favor of PFAS, but it's still a problem. We need to develop better alternatives. But the indestructibility of PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, means the pollutants have built up over time in the air, soil, lakes, rivers, food, drinking water, and even our bodies. There have been growing calls for stricter regulation of PFAS, which have been linked to a range of serious health issues, including liver damage, high cholesterol, reduced immune response, and several kinds of cancer. Reduced immune responses, isn't that interesting? I wonder if that affects how bad COVID is nowadays. To find out PFAS contamination in locally caught fish, a team of researchers analyzed more than 500 samples from rivers and lakes across the United States between 2013 and 15. The median level of PFAS in the fish was 9,500 nanograms per kilogram, according to a study published in the journal Environmental Research. Nearly 3/4 of the detected forever chemicals were PFOS, one of the most common and hazardous of the thousands of forms of PFAS. Eating just one freshwater fish equaled drinking water with PFOS at 48 parts per trillion for a month, the researchers calculated. Last year, the Environmental Protection Agency lowered the level of PFOS in drinking water considered safe to 0.02 parts per trillion. So 0.02 parts per trillion, 48 parts per trillion. I mean, that's crazy. Now, I don't eat fish. I'm against seafood. I don't eat them, okay? That's just not for me. I think they smell bad, they taste bad, they're garbage, and, you know, the health benefits of them, let's be honest, right? Overblown. Fish is trash. But there is no safe to eat fish in this country. This is why I say being a vegetarian is easy, because meat in this country is also poisoned with antibiotic use, with broken down, horribly digested branched-chain amino acids, with diseases, viruses. Meat is trash in this country. It is terrible for you in this country. If you live in New Zealand or some shit, or Japan, I know that they have a different situation with the regulations on the meat industries there. Now, I'm still morally opposed to eating meat, but eating meat or fish in the United States makes you an idiot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like, this shit is so bad for you. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now, again, you gotta watch out, because almost everything is poisoned, right? You know, vegetables, a lot of vegetables, depending on where you get them from, get sprayed by pesticides, right? So we can't really escape the carcinogenic poisoning of our bodies by the United States government. They have decided they want to kill us for corporate money. And so I say you got to do harm reduction. Fish is really fucking bad for you. Meat as well, really fucking bad for you. Let's keep going. The total PFAS level in the freshwater fish was 278 times higher than what has been found in commercially sold fish, the study said. That's interesting. David Andrews, a senior scientist at the nonprofit Environmental Working Group, which led research, told Agence France Presse he grew up catching and eating fish. I can no longer look at the fish without thinking about PFAS contamination. Now, there are two problems with commercially sold fish versus freshwater fish. Commercially sold fish are not nearly as nutritious outside of PFAS as freshwater fish or wild fish. Why? Because farmed fish do not have a diet that is high in nutrients, right? So one of the ways that, for example, salmon is one of the best nutrient profiles for fish. Wild caught salmon, right? Farmed salmon almost has no nutrient profile because they're farmed. So commercially sold fish is most often farmed fish, which is also not good for you, right? But now we're finding out that wild fish, which theoretically was better for you, is now even worse than we thought because of PFAS. So I say avoid all the fish. That's my solution. The findings were, quote, particularly concerning due to the impact on disadvantaged communities that consume fish as a source protein or for social or cultural reasons, he added. I love the idea that, like, there's a cultural reason behind chronically poisoning yourself. Now, I get it, you know, on a holiday or whatever, you know, you drink some moonshine, you know, it's part of your culture. That's one thing. I'm not... But, like, imagine if it was like, yeah, it's my culture. I just drink, I drink half an ounce of gasoline every day. It's my culture. My culture raised me. What? I don't give a fuck about your social culture. I don't give a shit about your culture. If your culture is advocating poisoning children, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're part of an indigenous community. I don't give a fuck what community you're part of. If your culture is let's poison some kids, that's a stupid fucking culture, which is why I think American society as itself is a culture that probably should go away as well. I think American culture is basically founded on child abuse. We market candy to kids, for example. That causes them to become drug addicts, right? We give kids unhealthy amounts of medication that don't actually do anything, right? We give kids viruses and illnesses. So I think we got a whole culture around child abuse that we really need to look at. So again, I don't give a fuck about anyone's cultural reasons. If you're poisoning children or yourself, I mean, you can poison yourself. I don't give a shit. But if you're poisoning kids, I don't give a fuck about your culture. Get the fuck off. So anyway, let's keep going. The research makes me incredibly angry because companies that made and used PFAS contaminated the globe and have not been held responsible. And guess what? They will never be held responsible. Patrick Byrne, an environmental pollution researcher at the UK's Liverpool John Moores University, not involved in the recent research, said PFAS are probably the greatest chemical threat the human race is facing in the 21st century. Second is probably microplastics. Right? You got PFAS, you got microplastics. Whoa! I'm glad we use plastic that's laced with forever chemicals in our food packages. What a great world! The government really cares. The Food and Drug Administration, they really care. Right? This is an important study because it provides the first evidence for widespread transfer of PFAS directly from fish to humans. Andrews called for much more stringent regulation to bring an end to all non-essential uses of PFAS. I'm willing to say that there is no essential use of PFAS. We can develop an alternative for all of this shit. But is anyone going to listen to this guy? No. Is the government going to do anything? No. Are they going to enforce anything? Even if the government passed a law, are they going to enforce it at all? No. Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, and Sweden submitted a proposal to ban PFAS to the EU's European Chemicals Agency on Friday. The proposal, one of the broadest in EU's history, comes after the 5 countries found that PFAS weren't adequately controlled and block-wide regulation was needed, the agency said in a statement. You know, moving to Europe is looking pretty good right now. So, anyway, there you go. I wanted to talk about this today. Just thought I would. You know, everybody, I've said this before, that I think it's over. I think we're watching the dominoes fall. I mean, even if we reversed course, it would take literally centuries and like dozens of generations for PFAS and microplastics to go away. You know, if we stop now. But we're not. I saw a number the other day that said that like 50% of all plastic in the world was created in the last 15 years. Feel free to fact check me on that. I read that somewhere in passing, so, you know. But, so anyway, my opinion is we're fucked. And to be very clear, just so that no one misunderstands me, this is not the good kind of fucking that involves a dick in an orifice, okay? Or around or on or anywhere near it. It is not that kind of fucking. Is that graphic? Did I just demonetize myself? Fuck. Anyway. We're getting fucked really badly. Okay? And there's really nothing we can do to escape. The best thing we can do is harm reduction. That's the best thing we can do. Harm reduction. Harm reduction. We can't eliminate. We can't do harm elimination in our lives, but we can reduce the harm that capitalism's grip has on our souls, everybody. Eat healthy. I'm serious. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, going to McDonald's and ordering the salad. Ha ha ha. I'm talking about every food that you eat. You need to do extensive research on every food that you eat. Every brand that you buy, extensive research. Now, I have 2 axes that I use for my food choices. I have the health axis and the ethics axis. But I would say that health is weighted higher than ethics. So, for example, if it is healthier for me to purchase food from a company that I know treats their workers like trash, I personally would rather do that than buy unhealthier food, even if they have good worker practices. Now, usually health and ethics are on the same spectrum. Usually companies that treat their workers like shit also have shitty products. That's usually the case. But, you know, when you start researching brands, you really find out that most brands are criminal, really. I mean, Nestle, for example, they just petitioned the Supreme Court to allow them to use child slavery in the production of their products. But if I found out that Nestle's products were the healthiest products around, you know what? That's the decision I would make. But Nestle products are trash, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, do most people know that Nestle petitioned the Supreme Court to allow child slavery? Do most people know that? I don't think so. Right? So this is why I say everything you buy, just go to the grocery store, buy whatever you normally buy. But before you eat anything, take a picture of your cart, right? Write down all the labels, the brands, the products, and just spend a couple hours on the computer and just look them all up. You know, what is this brand of celery? How do they get their products? What is this, you know, whatever. Like, just look them up. Because it goes a long way. And so that's why, again, advocate for harm reduction. And it's like, also, think about it from this perspective. 95% of Americans don't eat fruits or vegetables. So think about the advantage you'll have in society if you take care of yourself. Hey, I'm just, whatever I need to do to get the message out. If you're the most selfish motherfucker on planet Earth, you should still eat healthy because it's going to put you ahead in the race compared to 95% of people. 93% of Americans are chronically metabolically ill, which means they're essentially suffering from multiple clusters of symptoms that mostly include things like inflammation, which reduces the efficacy of your immune system, causes things like neurological degeneration, brain fog, for example. That's 93% of Americans. So I say, if you do your best to reduce the harm in your diet, I don't get, like, whatever reason you need. Health, if you don't give a shit about health, but you give a shit about money, you will make more money if you're healthier because you will be able to think better and you'll be able to be more proactive in gaining, I don't know, financial freedom or whatever the fuck. Whatever excuse that you need to come up with, I don't care. Ethics, if you're all about ethics, you don't give a shit about your personal health and you want to go vegan, you know, just because of the morals, I'm in. Go for it. Whatever you need to do to convince yourself to reduce the harm that you do on a daily basis from your diet, because the average default in America is chronic drug addiction. 95% of Americans are drug addicts. That's a fact. And their drug of choice is processed food, junk food. That's a fact. 95% of Americans are drug addicts. So if that number seems offensive to you, if the reading of that number seems offensive to you, I don't know what to tell you, but it's the truth. And so if you can escape that 95% and go clean, I mean, it does a lot of good, let me tell you. I will tell this in a personal anecdote. Over the last couple of months, I mean, you know, as of a month ago, over the last couple of months, you know, I went on a little bit of a food bender. You know, I ate, you know, some pizza. You know, I had a little Taco Bell, you know, little bean burritos, you know, a couple of them. I had some candy. Halloween, man, I went on a candy bender. I was eating those, like, fucking sour-ass shits. Toxic waste, you know. So, you know, every once in a while, I think it's okay to go on a little bit of a candy bender. You know, just to get it out of your system. I'm not talking about perfect adherence, you know. No one needs to be 100% perfect all the time. It's unrealistic. It's unattainable. And if you strive for perfection, you're just going to be chronically depressed because you'll never reach perfection. You'll never be perfect. And then you're just going to be stressed all the time, which releases a lot of cortisol in your bloodstream, which is also doing a lot of harm. So if drinking a glass of wine every couple days is You know, if that to you is the most manageable you can, it's better than being a fucking stress ball every day, having that cortisol destroy your fucking goddamn body. Right? So I say this. You know, if you like meat, okay. If you want to eat meat, all right. I think it's dumb, but you don't need to eat meat every fucking day. Every fucking day. Like, I mean, that's a drug addiction. If you were drinking beer every day, that's an addiction. If you were eating McDonald's every day, it's an addiction. If you're eating candy every day, it's an addiction. If you're smoking cigarettes every day, it's an addiction. Meat is a drug. Now again, if you like it, if you like chicken wings, and you want to have chicken wings once a week, and that's your big thing, have at it. Because it's about harm reduction. It's about reducing the total harm. And trust me, you will feel better. Whatever high that you get when you're eating a cheeseburger, you're going to feel really good all the time. You're going to feel that high all the time once you stop, once you kick it. So my opinion, again, is, you know what? Schedule a bender every now and then. You know, I don't eat meat. I have no interest in meat. I think meat is garbage. I haven't eaten meat in like 4 years now, so I don't care about that. But every once in a while, every few months, I'll go on a candy bender. Last year, I had some other circumstances arise that made me lean into the bender a little bit more. But, you know, Halloween, I like to have like a week of Halloween where I'm just eating candy every day. Fuck it, whatever. Christmas time, I like to get drunk every day. I hate the holidays. But throughout the rest of the year, I try to be as healthy as I possibly can. You know, junk food should be like once a month, maybe. You know, I don't try to eat candy really at all. Normally throughout the year. Maybe my birthday is an exception, you know, some like holidays like Halloween. But like, you know, again, but it's all about harm reduction. Because if you strive for perfection and then you make a mistake, which you will, if you're trying to be perfect and you make a mistake, which you will make a mistake, you're only human, then you're going to feel like shit. Then the cortisol is going to fuck you up and then you're going to undo all the gains, right? So just throwing that out there. But anyway, just a little PSA. But anyway, that's my show today. I will talk about the religious stuff tomorrow. I don't want to bog this show down. I did food. I did COVID. I did right-wingers. I don't want to add religion to this show. Then I'll be here for another hour. So I'm going to do the religion stuff tomorrow. But we're going to enter QCock, everybody. QCock. Questions, comments, or concerns. Post your Qs. And when you're done with those, get those cocks ready and throw them in. QCock. So if you have anything you want to say, I'm reading. They dip chickens in chlorine wash. That's correct. That's why almost every country that's not the United States has banned imported meat from the United States. Like Europe has banned imported meat from the United States. That was a big thing with Brexit, actually. Is Brexit basically essentially raised the prices of meat imports from Europe to the UK. And so what they did was they made a deal with America to import the chlorine chicken. That didn't last long, I don't think. I think they came up with something else, but yeah, I want to go to the meth park. I mean, that sounds awesome, dude. I've never tried meth, but if there was like a park where I could go to, you know, do some meth for free and not get thrown in jail, man, fuck it, I'll try some meth at the meth park. How's Max this morning? Where is this dog? Is he on the bed again? Max, where are you? Max! Maxie. Look at this goddamn... Oh, you can't see him actually because just pointing at my fucking crotch, which you should also be looking at. I present to you Max the dog, everybody. Yay, Maxie! Yay! Yay, Maxie! You want to come uppy? Uppy! Come on, Max. Come on. If you come uppy, you get pets. He's too old for this, man. He's too old for this shit. Yeah, and now he's done. Now he's done. All right. I don't know why I'm putting my headset back on because I'm not piping any audio in right now. But I gotta do it. Now I'm over here. The camera's over here now. Okay. Goddamn mad cow disease. Yeah, I gotta do more Max shorts. That's a good idea. It's been enlightening, Andrea, as always. I love to enlighten the viewers. I love to, you know, like a cheese grater, you know. I've been working on making hash browns lately. That's been one of my pet projects. So I've been using the grater on potatoes to make hash browns. But imagine that. Like, imagine like I'm just like my brain is the potato. And like the little strands and flakes that are going through, like that's what I'm giving you. Like, it, you know, just it falls off, you know. I don't know what I'm saying. We got thigh cam. That's right. I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to rewind if that's something you're interested in. You know, feel free to rewind. Watch on slow motion. You know, feel free. Max a Valentine sweater. He's got a big collection of clothing now. He's got like 10 different clothes, and it's pretty great. Yeah, a mushroom costume for Max the dog would be great. That would be great. Panic in Needle Park, 1971. I'll look into it. Mila is going to rewind for the thigh cam. This is her favorite part of the show. She can't believe she missed it. So enjoy, Mila. Potatoes, basically a junk vegetable. Yeah, I try to not, you know. My limit is 1 potato per meal. You know, potatoes are not that good for you. I mean, it's way better than, you know, juice or candy or meat or fish. I mean, it's, you know, miles better than any of that shit. But it definitely is the junkiest of the vegetables, for sure. But that's why I eat them. Shoving those potatoes down my gullet. But yep, I got nothing. Let's check this out. Yeah, look at that. It's spitting. Look at this shit. Whoa, buddy. Look at that. Goddamn Q cock. Whoa. Holy hell. That is insane. That is insane. I'm doing some live insanity. Live fucking insanity. I mean, I can't believe what I'm watching, honestly. There we go. We got Q-Cock back in action. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Now we're talking about professionalism. Jesus. I'm 26 years old. I'm not 27 yet, motherfucker. I'm young. I'm young. What kind of speed run is this? This is the speed run to the end of the show. That's a big Q cock. Oh no. Oh. A picture box. I don't know what that means. Or Amazon list. I prefer just money. You know? Like, that's my preference. Yeah, I'm getting a P.O. box soon-ish. Oh. Q-Cock's over. It's done. It's done. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I will see you all. I don't know when I'll see you all, but I'll see you all at some point.